nation's worst school shooting incident dominated the week's news, eclipsing even the problems of President Bush, who stopped by the Virginia Tech campus to pay his respects. Later in the week, Bush visited the Holocaust Museum and praised a Holocaust survivor who had been killed at Virginia Tech. Professor Levi Labrescu died blocking a door while his students escaped through a window. Among a lot of good reporting on the massacre was a troubling piece from the Associated Press, which revealed how the gunman, Seung-hui, had earlier triggered alarms from the faculty and his classmates that he had been accused more than a year ago of stalking 2 female students, and that his parents told police he might be suicidal, prompting authorities to take him to a mental health facility. NBC got a scoop and some criticism by broadcasting a video and photographs Joe had mailed to the network before he died. The package included a statement NBC called "Deranged Ramblings." Joe was an English major who had written a great deal about violence, so much that one of his professors threatened to resign if Joe wasn't removed from her class. So how could someone like that remain at a university and legally buy a gun? The gun dealer told AP, quote, "He was a nice, clean-cut college kid. We won't sell a gun if we have any idea at all that a purchase is suspicious." We wonder how a clean-cut college kid morphed in just 5 weeks into this. Speaking of guns, the Chicago Tribune and many other papers reported the firing of a German army instructor who had told a recruit practicing with a machine gun to imagine shooting at American black people. Neither the instructor or the German soldier who videotaped the incident has been identified. The English translation of the instructor's command: "You are in the Bronx. A black van is stopping in front of you. 3 African Americans are getting out, and they are insulting your mother in the worst ways. Act." Nobody has explained why the instructor picked on New Yorkers. Another racial slip of the tongue was revealed by a small-town newspaper in Indiana. The Washington Times-Herald reported on a speech the Indiana Secretary of State had delivered to a GOP group over the weekend, a speech in which Republican Todd Rokita questioned why African Americans vote 90% of the time for Democrats. "How can that be?" Rokita asked. 90-10. Who's the master and who's the slave in that relationship? End quote. Rokita later apologized, just like Don Imus. Another international scoop came from the UK's The Independent, which reported a new angle on the mysterious disappearance of honeybees. The phenomenon began in the U.S. last fall and is now spreading in Europe. The Independent quotes several scientists who think that radiation from mobile phones interferes with bees' navigation systems, preventing the honeybees from finding their way home. A different kind of environmental problem was highlighted by the Chronicle Herald in Halifax, Nova Scotia, plus a lot of other Canadian media. A man who was dubbed the cigarette butt hero, Claude Landry, had already been made famous by a YouTube video. Landry and a friend said they were walking down a Montreal street experimenting with a camera when Landry spotted a motorist emptying an ashtray on the sidewalk, and he confronted the man. It wasn't until the video got more than 35,000 hits and Landry got a lot of cheers did they admit it was all a hoax. But it was a hoax perpetrated, as the shooter put it, in good faith for the message.